Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. Welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra healthy side helping of rotisserie chicken. And that's because the wife brought one home today and it was delicious. So yeah, there you go. Not too many of you sit sitting out there right now, and my microphone sounds really bad for some reason. I don't know what to tell you. Um, hmm, I don't know how why the sound is sounding so bad, but it is. Because my setup's the same as it always is. But maybe we can get through this. But if it gets really annoying, I may have to stop the stream and fix it somehow. Don't know how. Don't know what's going on. But yeah. So how's everybody doing? I think Michael Weiner's out there. Maybe the only one out in the chat at the moment. I know I had a late start to everything. I laid down and take a nap, and so I didn't get the stream set up ahead of time. Excuse me. And yeah, sorry about that. Wasn't a lot of heads up. And the way YouTube's been doing streams lately, I have no idea who even knows. I tried to share it out on Twitter, but you know how that goes. So I guess we'll see whoever we see when they show up. I'm going to check this thing on the sound again. It sounds terrible. Oh, I don't know what's causing that. I'm sorry, guys. Sound like I'm in a can. Don't know what's causing it. See if I can't figure it out. So yeah, sounds like I'm in a cave. Thank you, Michael. I don't know why that is. Gonna try to figure it out. And it says if you're having issues, try restarting your browser. So, yeah. Tell you what, Michael, this would be a good time to do it since you seem to be the only one out there. Real quick, I'm going to try restarting real fast and be right back. So hum to yourself or something. Hi, Shio. I'll be right back. I'm going to try to fix this mic issue really fast. So let's see what happens. Okay. Is it any better? Nope. Still sounds terrible. Well, I guess we're going to have to live with it. I don't know what the issue is, and don't have the time now to figure it out. So, and we're gonna. I'm sorry, guys. I guess we're just gonna have to live with the bad sound. After the stream, I'll try rebooting the computer and see what's going on. Might be because I've hooked up my camera, and Jay Thompson says went from underwater to talking from a tin can, so marginally better. Yeah, I've never ever had problems with this mic before, ever. So it tells me there has to be a problem with StreamYard at the moment. I don't know. Shoes. Whoever said one person can't change the world never ate an undercooked bat. Right? Right. Well, there's a few of you here. It says there's 6 watching, so welcome. Apologies for the sound, but doesn't seem to be anything I can do about it at the moment. Yeah, my work has been deemed essential. My state is on lockdown, and somehow, and I work in a smoke shop, for if you don't know, it's been deemed essential. I think they're using a loophole because some of our stores do have gas pumps. Ours does not. But I guess since they have gas pumps, they're considered a convenience store. And on the list, it does say that convenience stores are essential. I have to carry a document with me in case I'm stopped or pulled over that says, hey, I'm on my way to work and I have an essential job. It still cracks me up. So, yeah, for the time being, we are open. Our hours have changed. Usually we were open 8 to 7, 8 to 8 on some nights. And now we're only open 9 to 5, 10 to 5 on Sunday. But I'm not looking forward to tomorrow night because of the new rules, and they don't want any more than one person, one employee in the shop at a time. Because of the virus, I will have to put the entire truck away by myself on Friday night and try to keep up with the customers in the cash register at the same time. Don't know how I'm going to pull that off. I'm only one guy, and I'm an old guy. Well, there will be another girl there. People that are in training are an exemption to the rule, but I'll be training her. But I'll be honest with you, I don't look for a whole lot of work out of her. I'm not entirely impressed. I'm not impressed. Aaron Meredith says my job was called essential, but I got laid off anyway due to the supplier issues. Yeah. And that's going to probably happen to us because some of our supply. Hey, Jay Wolf says, afternoon, but I knew you were essential. Some of our suppliers, like RJ Reynolds, has contacted us and said that they're no longer open. They do have cigarettes available that are in back stock, but once that runs out, it's gone. So who knows? Don't know what's gonna happen with that down the road. But my state is in lockdown. They're asking everybody to stay home and everything. And although I wished I could, I can't. Gotta work. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am starting to feel a little nervous because there's no way to protect myself, being in the public as I am. With people just a counter between me and the customers. And we get a lot of people in there coughing and carrying on. Lockdowns don't seem constitutional. Yeah, there's an argument to be had there. But, I getting a little nervous about it. I don't want it. I'm not afraid of it, but I don't want it, don't need it. And our manager has already been put in 2 week quarantine. I don't think she has the virus, but her doctor told her it doesn't matter. She still has to go in quarantine because she's sick and can't go out. There are gloves, Jay Wilk, at my work, but none of them fit me because all the rest of the employees are girls, so they're small gloves. And even though I'm a skinny guy, more or less, I have very big hands. I have very big hands and big feet. The rest of me scrawny, well, except for my gut. But could drink a coffee there, light a cigarette. I know that pain. Yeah, yeah. I tried to get a pair of those gloves on. I couldn't even get them past my knuckles. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. So washing my hands off, and we've got a big bottle of hand sanitizer there that I use when I have to. But you get people, and they are coughing and hacking, and hey, Iceman Northland, and you're like, okay, does this person have the virus? I really don't want it. You got to handle their money, and it's just, yeah, it makes me a little nervous. I'm going to admit it. It makes me a little nervous because I am in the high risk. Uh, I'm 60 years old. I'm a smoker, and I have some respiratory issues, and I have some other physical issues that would put me in high risk. So I really don't want this thing. I'm not afraid of it. I don't think it would kill me. But hey, Pat. But hey, is what it is. Um, and I just keep plugging on. The good news is that all of us are getting an extra dollar on the hour until further notice, until this is all over. And those of us that are actually working. Yeah, I'm doing everything I can, Pat, but my options are limited because I do have to face the public as a cashiering being part of my job. There's only so much you can do. Yeah, Iceman Northern says everybody just hang in there. This will be over sooner than everybody expects. I hope so. I hope so because those of us that are continuing to work, at least at my, they're working as hard. I feel like I'm on call because they've been calling me in. At the last minute, I worked another 11-hour shift on Monday because I had to go in for my manager who got quarantined, and yeah, and my district manager now has my cell phone and has been calling me directly, which doesn't make me feel important. It makes me feel like the cat who's been bailed. Pat says, I couldn't work today due to my sinuses make me feel like crap. My job is being so cautious to tell me to go home. Yeah, that sucks, Pat, but I can understand it. I can understand it. Iceman Northland says, well, it went away, retracted. But Kyler says, well, I'm late. Well, probably YouTube's fault. I didn't get the stream set up to the last minute because I was trying to take a nap. Oh, there it is. I'm a truck driver in the food grade tanker industry, and we are running. Yeah. I was talking to one of my customers. I'm not sure what they do, but they work in a warehouse that is deemed essential. And I guess there where they work, they're taking all their temperatures as they come in. And if you're running anything over a 99, you've got to go home. I don't remember. He told me what it was he does, but I don't remember now. Whatever it was also deemed essential. But yeah, sorry for the late get together of the stream. I needed a nap bad. And oh boy, I just got a bunch of error messages flash across my screen. They do that to me at the hospital, Michael Weiner, which is not a good thing. Guys, if I can get you to hang in there, I'm going to reboot my computer because my whole screen just filled up with error messages. That's not a good thing. Kyler says, I work in the auto industry, so I'm off. I promise I will be right back. And the good thing about StreamYard is it won't die like the old Hangouts used to do if I'm not back in time. But this computer reboots pretty quick, so I will be back quick as I can. And I'm back. Wonder if this fixed my issues. No, it didn't. Hmm. Yeah. sorry about that. Um, I'll have to figure it all out later, but I wanted to reboot because I was getting all kinds of error messages that flashed up and blocked my screen. So, yeah, you can at least hear me, Michael. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll try unplugging it, replugging it, and figuring it out because both my mic and the camera are plug and play. And the you think it's on YouTube side, Pat? Were you having issues earlier? Um, it sounds awful. Sounds like I'm in a tin can. Hey, Cynical. Yes, I am doing well. Happened to Magog and Undoomed earlier. Me too. Wow. Well. Okay. Well, at least I know it's not just me. I was beginning to think maybe there was something up with my new camera that I just hooked up because that's the only thing different about my setup is that there's now a camera hooked up. There's a hashtag on Twitter about people having problems on YT. I've been keeping up. I've been playing games. I've been working so hard and so many hours. I just wanted to zone out and play games. Now, for those of you that don't know, the wife and I have a extra house guest for the next several days while my daughter is in lockdown in another city with her children, and we have her dog. Now, some of you will be familiar because she has been on the stream before. She's a pit bull mix named Precious. I've been saying on Twitter that she's 50 pounds, but I think she's closer to over 60 because she's got fat. And she thinks she's a lap dog. As a matter of fact, right now is one of the few times that I don't have her in my lap because I made her get down as much as it broke my heart, but I didn't want to stream with her sitting in my lap. She's been killing me. And it's hard to play games and so forth with this big horse in my lap or talk on Twitter with the keyboard resting on her back because she's all draped across me. But she loves her some Papa. I don't know why she loves me so much, but boy, this dog does. She's been stuck up my butt from the moment she's got here. But I enjoy the attention, and I've been wanting a dog, so this helps ease that craving a little bit. I just wish she knew how to lay down somewhere other than on me. She's hard, and right now she's laying on a blanket I put down for her. She's finally laying on it. I put it down in the floor for her to lay on to see if she would. But it's the algorithms, Jay Wilson. Yeah. But and she keeps looking over here once in a while because she's trying to figure out who in the heck Papa is talking to. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm just kicking back and taking it easy. And as a matter of fact, here, I'll show you. Don't pay any attention to the bed head. I'll show you what the old man looks like. You can tell it's just one of those days for me. I'm just lazy and don't want to do much. And there it is. Don't worry, I won't leave that on too long. I don't want to ruin your all's lunch or whatever you're having. But yeah, I'm just kicked back and this. Whoops, the camera's back. But this is all just stains and stuff. So don't. Those aren't bugs or anything. They're actually blood stains because I bleed so easily. And when I scratch myself, it gets on the sheet, which is why I put a sheet over the chair so it doesn't get on the chair itself. So, yeah, I'm just having a lazy day. How about you? Gosh dang, I'm eating. Yeah, I know. I told you I wasn't going to leave it up there very long. Cynical is I just can't wait till next Friday so I can play the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm just hoping they don't schedule me to work next Friday because Fridays have become the day you don't want to work because we got to put the truck away by ourselves now. Manny says, "Hey, I filmed videos in the road trap of a house we lived in. Don't sweat it." Yeah, you know, I'm just, I'm in my PJs. I got some old raggy long sleeve shirt over top of it, and I only got that on because I have to take the dog out every couple of hours. And because she is known to mess in the house, which she has not done since she's been here, and I think it's because we give her attention. At home, all too often, sadly, she gets told, "Go away, go away, go down." Uh, so yeah, she hasn't messed in the house since she's been here, and she's loving it because the wife and I give her tons of attention. Uh, Last night I got to laughing at her because she was just licking and licking and licking me, and it wasn't like she just licked my hand or anything else. She was licking my neck and my face and my on my shoulders and my arms. I'm like, "Are you giving me a bath? You trying to tell Papa he needs a bath? Is that what it is?" I know I need a bath, but I'm on my day off and I'm lazy. I'll take a bath when I get around to it because I ain't going nowhere. Uh, Iceman Northland says, "Y'all have fun. I got to get back to driving." Hey, buddy, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, yeah. Don't interact and drive, bud. But you know that. Uh, so how's that's been my week. Oh, thank you, Willie Billy the Hillbilly. Thank you for the donation. I would check your mic input. It sounds like Windows switched to your webcam. No, it's actually there's no. I don't think that there's a camera on the webcam. But I'll look at that here real quick. I'm pretty sure it's probably going through. Uh, uh, maybe there is a microphone in my webcam and it's trying to go through that. And get it switched over. That does sound better, doesn't it? Yeah. Ah, good. Much, much better. Yeah. Evidently, there is a microphone in this little webcam that I had no idea was in there, and it was listening to that. Thank you, Willie Billy, for the heads up. I would have never guessed it because I didn't think it had a mic in it. I really didn't. It's just a little cheap thing. Actually, what it is, I ordered a webcam from Walmart when I ordered this computer, and I ordered it, and they didn't have any more in stock, so they refunded me my money and then give it to me. Well, since they had to do that, they sent me a little cheap webcam free of charge, and that's what this is. It's just a little cheapo thing, and I uh, I had no idea it even had a microphone, and none of the paperwork even mentions that it has a microphone. So yeah. Uh, yeah, better than nothing. It is. It is. It's better than nothing, and it worked well for my gaming stream the other day. The test for OBS, which turned out superb. I was so happy with the way that it turned out, and thank you for those that come out and help me check it out. The gameplay was smooth and looked good. I was able to, get my picture like gamers do, up in the corner, looked all official and everything. But yeah, I was really pleased with the way it turned out. This computer handled it like a champ, and I was so pleased. Jay Webb says for cheapo has decent picture. Yeah, I think it's like a $12 camera, and that's pretty cheap for a webcam. Um, I played the devil trying to figure out how to hook it on top of the TV that I'm using for a monitor, though. But I did figure it out. And I was just so pleased, and I talked with my oldest daughter, the one that you all know as Mama Minnie, the next day, because she had tried to call me for my birthday, but she called my own old phone because I've got a new phone in the last week. And it come with a new phone number because it was cheaper to get a new phone number. And that still makes no sense to me, but it was like $100 cheaper. I'm like, okay, well, give me a new phone number. Anyway, she was calling me for my birthday and we were talking, and her boyfriend has an autistic son. And I guess that he had tuned into the live stream, or they had turned it in and he got to watch it. And he was just glued to it, just really enjoyed watching it. And that right there just made it all worth it to me. Hey, Amanda, how you doing? Um, that tickles me, that he would this kid would find what I was doing so interesting. I've yet to meet his kids yet because they live up in Michigan, but I guess I'm gonna have to adopt them as my grandkids too. I'm not sure how many he has, two or three, and I already got 10. Oh my gosh, I've got uh, I've got enough for almost for a football team, and if I welcome his into the fold, I've got enough for a football team. So we're talking American football, people, American football, not that soccer. Um, yeah, I'm already the grandpa of the whole internet, right? Yeah, I am, and and so boy, I'm glad I got that sound figured out. Thank you so much, Willie Billy, um, for helping a old brainless old man figure it out. Um, if I'd knew that it had a microphone, I would have maybe thought of that. But yeah, first and second string baseball with spares. Yeah, yeah, I got a ton. I was talking to a lady at work, one of our customers, and she was talking about her grandkids. I said, "Well, I got 10 of them," and she looked at me, and I always get that reaction: "You don't look old enough to have 10." Well, I am. Trust me. You want to see my driver's license? I was born in 1960. Kyler says, "I think of you as one of my younger uncles." And hey, you think of me as however you want to. You know, you want to think of me as a butthead? That's all right. Just think of me. May says the problem with webcam mics is that they pick up every sound in the room and then some. Yeah. Um, and I'm just glad to get it figured out because that was awful. That sounded terrible. I've heard two tin cans strung together that sounded better than that was. And drink some more coffee, which I'm going to have to get up and get some more here in a minute. But yeah, I was real pleased with the way that the gaming stream turned out. I hope to maybe do some more of those. Might do one after this stream. I don't know. It depends on how my voice hangs in there because I do a lot of talking at work because you know how I am here on the stream. I'm that way at work. So the second someone comes in, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going there?" The second they come in the door and I'm talking and then I come here and I talk and my voice gets a workout sometimes. Um, MC says, "Be good to see Ronan will be back on the road." Yeah, yeah. Um, but so yeah. Anyway, how has everybody else been doing in this time of lockdowns? Everybody hanging in there? You doing all right? Um, Hopefully, none of you have got sick or anything like that. But and wait for the delay to see that everybody's okay. Um, Kyler says, "I'm okay, just bored." Well, see, I've been And Theater Winch is starting to get bored. Yeah, hanging in. I'm just grateful that my employers allow me to work from home. Homeschooling 4 kids. The 2 that are mine are no problem. My friends' kids are buttholes. I'm doing okay. I'm used to after the road trip and being in the apartment all those months without a car. Yeah. Um, Precious, quit. Precious, quit. She gets to scratching her ears, and she's got her ears all scratched up. I don't know what's going on there. Um, she might have an ear infection or something, but she gets her ears all dug to pieces to where you can't even touch them. Michael West is doing okay here. Thank you, though. I need to leave. I have a curbside pickup for grocery to grab. You do what you got to do, Michael. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, speaking of being bored, I guess I'm lucky. I'm fortunate because I don't know that I've ever been bored a minute in my life. I'm just one of them people. I don't get bored. There's way too much going on in my head. I can and have done it. Sit in a dark room, just staring into the blackness, lost in my own thoughts, and I'm perfectly fine. Kyler says, sounds like she has mites. I don't know. I don't know. If we can get enough money, we might take her. There's a pet hospital here very locally. Might take her over there and see what the problem is. I do know one thing. I'm going to have to bath her because she stinks. Oh, heaven. She smelled like a dog. But the wife picked up some dog shampoo today, and probably not today, and probably not tomorrow because I do have to work tomorrow, but maybe Saturday I'll see if I can't get her fat butt in the tub and get her rinsed off. Uh, Staring in the darkness sounds like a hangover, random American. Yeah, yeah, I do. I just, I'm perfectly content to just sit and be lost in my own thoughts. I live in the American Midwest. And if you've ever lived in the American Midwest or do now, you know that it's springtime and summertime. Severe storms is a fact of life. That's the way it is when you live here. I've had Alex tell me, she says, I don't know how you deal with all those storms you get. Well, it's a part of life. You get used to it. And what comes with that is power outages. So the power gets knocked out numerous times during the spring and the summer. And when the power's out, there's nothing much to do but sit around to talk to one another by candlelight. And it doesn't bother me. I'm just perfectly fine with that. So yeah, I guess I've been blessed that I'm not easily bored. I do get times that I would rather be doing something other than I'm doing, but I don't see that as being bored. I just want to do something else. Jay West says, if you have any mineral, put 2 to 3 drops in each ear. It will kill the mites if they're there and won't hurt her if they aren't. I don't know if we got any mineral oil around the house or not. I'll have to check later. Kyler says, heck yeah, though, and the weather is what it is. Yeah. I mean, out in California, they have to deal with I'd rather deal with our severe storms than the earthquake. I don't know how they deal with that, but they learn to, and the same here in the American Midwest. You learn to deal with the severe storms. And I hear my cardinal singing to me. I need to give him a name because he's my buddy. He's my buddy. Amanda says, I'm like that, blood, but it's because I didn't have friends as a kid. I just got used to being alone and entertaining myself. Well, I had friends. In fact, our yard was the one all the kids wanted to hang out because when I was a kid, up until I was 10 years old, we had a really big yard. I mean, it was big enough to play football in. So every kid in the neighborhood ended up in my yard. But no, I'm not taking you out right now. You were just out right before the stream. We're not pulling that. She tries to get one over on me. There's dogs next door, and she's discovered that, so she went to go out and play with them. And she thinks that she has to go out every half hour or so. And I'm not falling for it. I'm not doing it because I know better. Kyler says it got a little exciting a few years back when the tree fell over in a windstorm. Yeah. I don't have any trees in my yard here. I did when I first moved in, but the landlord cut it down because he It was a little rotten, and he was a little afraid of it. I got a really huge bush. I mean, it's big enough to hide in, and to get inside of it and to hide in. Several kids, 5, 6 kids could get underneath that thing. Great, huge bush. It's taller than I am, but no trees, no trees. Um, but yeah, that's uh, blood has a big, but not that kind of bush, Amanda. But I'll bet you somebody's going to take that sound clip and turn it into something it's not. And I just realized I didn't take my medication today, and it's too late. Because I looked up and seen my medicine bottles over on the table. Oh well, it won't hurt me to miss a day. Old hackberry tree was half dead. Yeah, I don't remember what kind of tree this was. It was out in the corner of our yard, and the landlord came over and cut it down because he was afraid it was going to fall on the house. Unfortunately, that means we have no shade in the yard. So when it does get warm weather, which it's getting to, it's been around 60 here the last couple of days. It's been really nice. Um, but when it does get warmer weather, there is absolutely no shade to block the sun off the house, and it gets hot in here quick, really quick. Um, and the house, the front faces the west and the back faces the east. So yeah, we get the full force of the sun. Yeah, I hear you, and I'm not. I told you I'm not taking you out right now. Dumb dog. She's in snorting and rolling all over the floor and thinking I'm going to come wrestle with her. Not right now. Papa busy. You silly dog. If I had a way of turning the camera around to see you guys would get a kick. She's just wallering on her back like she's fighting something, but there's nothing there that she's fighting. Uh, she's a goofball. Uh, but she's a sweetheart, absolute sweetheart, and just loves me to death. I don't know why. The wife thinks maybe it's because when she was shipped home from Hawaii, I was the one that let her out of her cage. But I don't know. When she first seen me, she bit me because I was trying to settle her cage, and my finger went through the cage and she bit it. But when we got her home, she was all right. I just opened the door and let her come out whenever she felt comfortable coming out. I took a hot dog and set it across the room and then opened the door. She was mad she hadn't seen you in a while. Yeah. She does not go in through any kind of phase like trying to get used to it. When she comes over here to our house, it's her second home. She just comes right in and settles down. She knows exactly where she's at, and she's cool with it. She's fine with it because she knows Mama and Papa is going to dote over her. And since there's no other kids or anything around, she gets the full force of our attention while she's here, and she gets spoiled. My daughter actually walked in one time when we were keeping her another time and caught me rocking her in my chair. And she says, "Are you rocking her?" And I'm like, "Maybe." I love dogs. Can't help it. I love them. Yeah, no, you stay down, baby. Stay down for right now. Okay. Um, got a big old Kai's got a big old monster of a tree out by the garage. If that old boy goes over my places and the neighbors are screwed. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. And also, my niece's dog is like that with my place. They lived with me for a few years. Yeah. Well, see, when they were living in Hawaii when they got her, and they shipped her home 6 months ahead of time before they came back. And so she was here for 6 months. And then we had her again for a period of time while something was going on. I can't remember what was going on. But yeah, she stayed here a few times, and she's completely comfortable with it. Amanda says, "Got to get back to school and break time is over. Bye, guys. See you later, Amanda. Have fun with that." Have fun with that. Um, but yeah, we've had old trees like that. Um, when I was young and living at home, we only lived in two different houses. We only moved once, and it was next door. I kid you not. We only moved one time, and it moved. We moved next door to where we lived before, and both houses were owned by the same people, an older couple, and they had decided they'd bought them a little place way out in the country and decided to move out there. So they sold the other house to my dad in 1970. So from 1960 to 1970, we lived in one house, and from 70 on, and my dad still owns that house. They moved next door. And it was cool when we moved because all the people from our church come over and just started grabbing junk and walked out the door with it, walked next door and put it in the house. Didn't have to order a truck or anything. We just walked it over and it was done in no time because everybody chipped in. But in that old house, we had a very big oak tree out front, and it's still standing there, as a matter of fact, in that house. And oh my gosh, I used to climb that tree up nearly to the very top. I mean, I was up in the tree high enough where it's swaying, and wasn't much bigger around than my little scrawny legs when I was a little kid. It was pretty far up there. Used to give my mom a heart attack because I was up there so high. And which as a kid, I was like, what are you worried about? I'm okay. But now that I've been a parent and a grandparent, I understand. I understand the heart attack. But Kyler says Miss School Marm for Amanda. Yeah, hey, Amanda the School Marm. Uh, don't know how long the stream's going to go on this time. I did want to check in with everybody because I hadn't been able to stream since Sunday because of work, and next week's probably going to be as hectic. Like I said, I'm kind of sort of on on call. I'm just here. In fact, the district manager is trying to get me to cover some shifts at another one of our stores, which is about 20 miles away. And I really don't want to because it's a heck of a drive. And I would play the devil trying to get off there when they close and get home in time for my wife to switch cars with her. So it'd be kind of an issue for me. I really don't want to, but I've built a reputation as the go-to guy, the guy you can depend on to cover a shift or to come in when it's needed. And I don't want to mess with that either. So, it's kind of a catch 22. But I did want to check in. Um, but we'll keep going here. We'll stream here as long as my voice hangs in there, and as long as my voice doesn't give out. Um, I'm looking out there, and I know Maddie's got some things going on. You still with us out there, Pat? Give me a thumbs up or something if you're still with us. I'm just looking for, because I know I'm going to have to go to the bathroom in a minute, and need at least somebody to cover while I go to the bathroom because I'm not on OBS right now, so I have no way to play music to entertain you guys. If I take a break. Where is the and she's fell asleep laying on her back mid wrestle. This silly dog. Um, oh, get another sip of that. Um, Martine anime feels shows. Okay, looking at my. Sorry, got distracted there for a second. Well, I'm glad everybody seems to be doing well. Whether your job is essential and you have to work, uh, or you're forced to stay home. Either way, I know is tough. Grilling Pirate Pete says, guys, if you're struggling to get your wife's attention, just sit on the couch and look comfy. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? That's the quickest way I know of to get a honeydew list handed to you. Right? I think that, yeah, I have to agree with you, Pete. Um, but I'm glad everybody's doing well. That none of you got the virus or anything like that. It's just a matter of settling in and dealing with whatever your situation is, whether you're got an essential job and you still got to work, or whether you're required to stay home. Hang in there. This will be over soon enough. I mean, it'll be tough getting through it, but you know, it is what it is. Uh, and now she's back at the back door trying to get me to take her out. I'm not doing it. It's only been an hour, and I know better than that. Uh, Grilling Pirate says, I had a close shift in the store last night. Our phone tech said it was so slow he did not even log on to his computer. Now, see, we've had the opposite problem, Pete. They've been panic buying tobacco just like they did toilet paper. It's been unreal. I seen the numbers for last week, and we more than doubled our normal numbers for a week. It's just been insane. They've been clearing our shelves, and then we'll restock them, and they clear them again. Um, it's just been insane the amount of people coming in and spending hundreds of dollars on cigarettes and chew and cigars. It's just crazy. Yeah, we only get a truck once a week, Pete, and so yeah. Our close friend said that the weed dispensaries here are running into shortages too. He was only able to get the expensive weed. Yeah. Now we haven't had a run on that. We don't have regular marijuana because our state has not legalized it, but we do have uh, marijuana that has supposedly had the THC taken out of it. Um, so it's only there for the CBD usage, and we've got it in a display case. We've only just recently got that, but there hasn't been a run on that. But cigarettes, oh my gosh, people buying 3, 4, 5, 6 cartons of cigarettes, and hey, Clinton Whitaker, and depending on what brand you're buying, that's hundreds of dollars. I mean, if you buy a carton of Marlboros, and I know that it's more expensive in other states, but here where we live, a carton of Marlboros is going to be a little over $70, probably about $73, something like that. And so it only takes 2 cartons of that to get over $100. And when you start talking about 4 and 5 cartons, which people are buying, that's ridiculous. I'm looking at them like, oh my gosh, how can you guys afford this? How can you afford it? And I look at some of the people, and I know they can afford it, but they got to have their smokes. You know, statistically speaking, 100% of cigarette smokers will die eventually. Yep, yep, we're all going to die sometime or another. Yeah, but a little bit cheaper here, but not that much. Yeah, and which is why I roll my own, because for under $30, about $28, I think I spend for a 16-ounce bag of tobacco and a couple of boxes of tubes, and that will roll me 2 to 2.5 cartons worth of cigarettes. So that's half. That's way. And even if you bought the cheap cigarettes, our cheapest cigarettes are a brand called LDs, which after tax come out to about $4.13 a pack. So that's even way cheaper than those, which I did have to buy a pack of those. They weren't too bad, but when my manager called me in on Monday. I was only expecting to be there a few hours until she got back from the doctor's office. And then she calls me and says, no, you're going to have to stay. And I ended up working 11 hours. So I didn't roll up enough cigarettes to take with me. And I did end up buying a pack so that I had some cigarettes while I was there. But yeah, by and large, I roll my own. Kroger's and Target, I work at Target, have stopped taking returns while state is in lockdown. We say because we don't want contaminated stuff coming back, but really don't want all that TP back. My wife finally got a package of toilet paper. Yeah, that was the thing is all those people that panicked went out and bought tons of toilet paper. Then those of us that didn't panic, there weren't any left on the shelves, and it was ridiculous. She also says, leave your boredom by taking a packet of toilet roll into a supermarket, place it on an empty shelf, and watch idiots fight over it. And I bet they would. And some of the stores here are price gouging. There's, I mentioned before, there's a dollar store. Just, they're right next to us where I work is the bar. And then on the other side of the bar is a dollar store. And the only thing they had left was single rolls on the shelves. And they were for $1 a piece, which is a lot to me for one single roll of off-brand toilet paper. They weren't even name brand. So here in North Carolina, my room is like $70 a carton at Food Lion. Yeah, but in North Carolina, you also grow tobacco, so it's going to be a little cheaper there because it's the same in Kentucky where they grow some of the tobacco, and they're generally cheaper there too, a little bit. But that's not a lot cheaper than they are here. But I know some places like New York and other places like that, they're $10 more or more a pack. Straight Six Mail says, hey, old man, YT has you shadow banned. This was not on my sub list. I'm not surprised, Straight Six Mail. And it seemed to be a problem going recently with streams, especially if you happen to mention the virus. Now, I haven't mentioned it by name. I've just called it the virus, but seems like that seems to be the trigger. And they're like, oh, no, we can't talk about that. Don't know why. What's wrong with talking about it? I mean, that's what's on everybody in the world's mind right now. It's affecting the whole world, and they don't want us to talk about it. I don't get that. And yeah, there's idiots out there that's saying it's not a problem, and people are licking toilet seats. And I seen on Twitter earlier that some moron that had filmed himself licking a toilet seat got now has been tested positive for the virus, which is that's karma. And there's a fellow that had filmed himself walking through the grocery store saying F the virus and licking things. And he's now been arrested under some kind of terrorism law, which, yeah, he gets what's coming to him. Moron. That's what they are, moron. Shio says, I think it's when you try to present something as fact. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the trigger is, but I have noticed that in streams that actually name the virus out by its known name and so forth, those get hit. Yeah, and blocked out of people's feed. Jay Wolf says, I know I wasn't necessarily saying they were cheap. I was agreeing with you about saving money rolling your own. Yeah. It's way, way, way cheaper. Of course, it'd be cheaper if I quit. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Sweet and sour sicken. Okinaze says, I always have 30-pack rolls of TP from Costco and Sam because I'm lazy and have 5 kids in the house. Well, then I can understand that because with 5 kids, you're going to go through a lot because kids haven't learned how not to be wasteful with toilet paper yet. I know when my grandkids lived here, they sure weren't. We went through toilet paper like it was going out of style, but now there's only the wife and I, and we don't go through as much, not nearly as much, and a pack will last us quite a while. Karma is a mean lady. You're right. Can't mention egg flu young without getting demonetized because only mainstream media channels are allowed to talk about it, and because they never lie, right? Slow down over there. Don't choke yourself. Quiet. Don't you puke in my house.
I'll kick you in the booty. Um, she's eating too fast. Got herself choked. There was another stupid person who got arrested for coughing on produce. The store had to pitch out $35,000 worth of groceries. Social media was a huge mistake. Yeah, I, people, and I hate to sound like I'm picking on young people, but the majority of these people doing that stuff are young and they think they're invincible. I did when I was young. They just don't get it. But hey, there's consequences for stuff like that. As some of these people are finding out. Uh, yeah, straight forwards or desperate for attention. Yeah, people. When I seen the story on the guy getting arrested because he was walking through the grocery store licking, I made the comment. People will do anything for licks instead of clicks. Get it? Dad joke. But yeah, I I don't get it. But I'm not a young moron either. Kyle says, just me and my house right now only need one pack a month. Unfortunately, this idiocy hit right when it was time to get my monthly pack. I know it hit right when we had 2.5 rolls left here in the house, which will last us a while because of those big mega rolls. And I'm making a gesture with my hand showing how big the mega rolls are that you guys can't see. I don't know why I did that, but you know what I'm talking about. The big mega rolls that are supposedly the size of 2 rolls or 4 rolls or something. I don't know. But they last us quite a while because we don't waste a lot. I only need it when I poop, and my wife don't use a whole lot of it, and yeah, is what we don't need that much. But it hit right when I only had a couple of rolls left, so we decided we better get another package of it just in case we don't know, because sometimes my wife's medicine hits her heart. She has diverticulitis, and sometimes it affects her in a way that makes her go quite often, just to put it nicely. Grilling Pirate says, every time one of these idiots do something stupid for the views, it's more time they extend to the shutdown, keeping us out of the pubs, listening to good music. Yeah, people are stupid, which is why I always say people are stupid. I hate people because they are stupid. Shio says, as Italy struggles to cremate the dead, Angela Merkel has assured German citizens that Germany can cremate up to 6. Oh, Lord have mercy. Shio. Oh, no. No. Oh, I got to the end of that before it hit me what you were saying. Oh, my gosh. He said it, YouTube. I didn't. Don't shut me down. uh, Pat says, I'm glad they're finally cracking down on them instead of giving them a slap on the wrist. Maybe they'll get the message. There'll still be stupid people out there, Pat. Maybe those people that it's actually happening to will learn, and maybe they won't, you know, but there'll still be stupid people. There's been stupid people since forever. I mean, even long before social media, when I was a young person and a kid, there were stupid people. They just didn't seem as prevalent because we didn't have social media to make the world seem so small. You know, um, a lot of the things that we look at now and we think, boy, people are stupid, existed then. We just didn't hear about it as much because our world was much bigger back then before the internet. And I was alive even before the first intercontinental broadcast, before they had cables and to run across the ocean for TV broadcast and satellites in the air to bounce the signal. So uh, the world was much larger in those days. Uh, Jay West says social media makes everything worse. Well, what makes everything isn't so much the social media, is that now stupid people are able to get their ideas out there and seen by more people. And then you find out that there's more stupid people out there than you thought. That's the thing. That is the thing. But yeah, Kyler says, not for the fact for trying to get Peppo in trouble. Kyler says, yeah, because I read that and I was all the way to the end before I realized what he was saying. I read it out loud. So yeah, I'm probably demonetized already. Anyway, these streams generally do get demonetized just right off the get go, right off the bat. So not a big deal. And the YouTube game, I can't live off that. I made that conclusion years ago, after probably or long ago after the second adpocalypse. I'm just off the ads. I'm not going to make much money, just not. So I don't worry too much about being demonetized. Good old Mountain Dew. Sugar House says, here's some monetization. Thanks, Leo, for the donation. Yeah. Um, that's the reason, we do, some of us depend on you guys' donation. And I hate to do that. I really do. It makes me uncomfortable to depend on other people, but it's just not going to happen otherwise. I'm sorry. Did you hear why Devil Fruit Zero? Thank you for the donation. Did you hear why people are safe from COVID-19 in Antarctica? They are isolated. Oh goodness, that was so bad. I love it. Thank you. Kai says, why I usually don't really talk about anything that controversial. It doesn't take anything, Kyler. A couple of years ago, during the football season, Badger and my son, J Kid, and I were doing a weekly American football stream. And those would get demonetized almost immediately. And we were just talking about football. In fact, I had a rule. No politics in the chat, no nothing. This is football only. Okay. And we still would get demonetized. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I give up trying to figure out what's going to get me demonetized and just have to not care about it. YT doesn't know what good content is. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And they've gotten so sensitive. And of course, we all know that they are heavily left leaning, just as all the social media platforms seem to be: Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And yeah, and there's just, I don't get this. You can't talk about the virus thing. And it's been other things before the virus. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about current events because they have some kind of rule against it. And I don't get that. They say it's to try to prevent people from capitalizing on tragedies and so forth and stuff like that. But you can't stop people from talking about the big news that's going on at that point in time. That's just ridiculous. It's stupid. Kyle says, too bad I didn't know about those football streams at the time. I would have watched. Yeah, they're still on my channel somewhere, but they're a couple of seasons old at this point. I'd like to do them again, but I'm not going to do them without my son, because the whole reason I started it was to be able to do something with him. And yeah, Wisconsin gas prices fall to 99 cents for the first time in 20 years. Really? I don't think they fell that low here, but they're getting pretty close. They were well under $2. I think they were down to like $1.30 a gallon, and I haven't seen it that cheap. And oh gosh, who knows? Yeah, exactly, Lindsay. If you're trying to prevent the capitalization of tragedies, why are you giving mainstream media a platform? It makes no sense to me, and I give up trying to make sense out of YouTube and the rules, because some of them just aren't going to make sense. Not to me anyway, because my mind doesn't think the way that theirs does. I'm not easily offended, and I don't know. Shield says, I wonder what the gas is here, but we haven't left the house in 3 weeks, right? Pat says, oversensitive and biased. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's almost like YouTube wants to control the narrative. You think, Lindsay? Do you think? Really? But yeah. So we got on that because I was saying that this is probably going to be demonetized anyway, because they'll find a reason to. They say there's no kind of blacklist, but I disagree with that. I've seen evidence that there is. And I'm pretty sure my channel went on that blacklist like about 3 years ago. because I'm heading into my 4th year doing YouTube. It'll be 4 years in October, and so heading that direction. And probably 2.5 to 3 years ago, I think I went on that blacklist because they were sure hitting me hard sometimes. Um, Grilling Pirate Pieces, this high seems to be $1.69 in Milwaukee, but most range between $1.49 and $1.28. The 3 station in Wisconsin are selling for 99 cents. Reading an article. Wow. If you could get over there and get some, you should, but it's probably got a line. Wow. Can you imagine the line that those stations have? Because I remember the gas wars of the 70s where the thing was to try to get cheaper than the next guy, and man, they would have lines. Because people tend to listen to YouTubers more than news lately because the news is trying to push a narrative. Yeah, they are. And there's a lot of YouTubers try to push a narrative. I've always tried to make sure that I'm not pushing a narrative, and I make it very clear, and I make it clear now. Don't take my word for anything that I give an opinion on. People, go check it out for yourself. Think for yourself. Grilling Pirate Pizzas. I am at the base of the thumb in Michigan, so way too far to drive. Yeah. Kyle says, yeah, I suppose some of your old content would be objectionable from a certain point of view. It would. And I'm very proud of I'm not one of these creators, and I know a lot of the people that did what I did have changed and totally disavowed and even removed their old videos and apologized for it. I'm not about to, because I still believe those things. I'm proud of every video that I made, as rough as they were, because my editing skills, especially in the very beginning, were really bad. As rough as they were, I was proud of them. And I don't apologize for any one of them, because I still have those opinions. I'm not some young kid that's changing their political opinion and whatnot, like they change underwear. My political mind and my the things that I believe in were solidified years ago. When I was a teenager and a young man. I doubt that I've changed my opinion on things in a significant manner since the mid 70s. I am who I am, and it doesn't mean that I haven't changed my mind on individual things, but I'm talking in general overall. So I'm not one of those old anti SJWs. I say with air quotes that you can't see. I never embraced that title because I don't like titles. I always said that I'm anti-stupid. If you're stupid, it don't matter who you are, I'll call you out. But I'm not ashamed of what I've done. And it's still up on my channel, and every video I ever made is still available to be watched. And if you want to watch it, I would be appreciative if you've never seen some of my old stuff, because I have not changed my mind on those things. I'm not ashamed of them in any way, shape, or form. Maddie says, I left mine up. I'm not ashamed of my views. Some may have changed since then, but that is no reason to take old video notes. Yeah. And Pat says, right, me, I did my channel to put my opinions out there. Exactly. Yeah, and that's all it was. I was an old man with opinions, and you're welcome to my opinions. But I'm not ashamed of them. Pat says, Clementine Ford is still my best video you made. Yeah, that one is actually the most popular video I've ever made, and has over 2,000 views, which may not sound like a lot to people, but you got to understand that at the time I made that video, I had about 300 to 400 subscribers. So I had 300 to 400 subscribers and got over 2,000 views on that video. So you do the math, try to figure it out. That was amazing. But yeah, I'm very proud of that one too. And it was one of the few times I was able to hit the ground running on a story and get it out there before the big guys got it out, Your website says that'd be Monday, Matt. Yeah, I've seen some stuff about him lately. Yeah. Grilling Pirate Priest, the 66-year-old Calhoun County, Michigan man shot himself while adjusting gun and waistband Wednesday, March 20, but non-life-threatening wound. Idiot just recently bought gun, I assume a panic buy. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. You know what the first clue that he didn't know anything about gun safety was? The minute he stuck it in his waistband. No, get yourself a holster. Don't stick it in your waistband. You're going to shoot your wang off. Idiot people. I've watched my old videos to see how much I've progressed. Yeah, every once in a while I go back and take a look at some of the stuff. And there are some changes I'm going to do to my channel here, like my channel trailer. I'm probably going to change, and the description of my channel I'm probably going to change some. But you will not see me take down any videos, or any of the content that I've made that is up there is going to stay up there. You know. Straight Sis Mills says also don't drink fish tank cleaner. I know, right? How stupid do you have to be? It's just people just it's just terrible. Welcome back, Michael. Shio says single woman with hand sanitizer would like to meet a single man with toilet rolls for good, clean fun. You laughed, but we had a conversation like that at work because we were talking like toilet paper has become the new roses. If you go out on a date and want to give a woman something special, give her a pack of toilet paper. That'll impress her. Yes, it is. Here, I don't know about where you're at, but it is a very gorgeous day out here. It's very bright and sunshine. Well, it's getting a little overcast now, but it's been very bright and sunshiny and about 60 degrees. It just feels wonderful. As long as it isn't used, Michael. Yeah, might have to draw the line there. Cleveland, Ohio. Well, you're not that far from me then. You're actually very close to my daughter who lives in Michigan, Mama Minnie, but she lives just north of Cleveland, about 40 minutes to an hour north of Cleveland in Michigan, in some small town there. So, yeah, you're not that far from me. 5 hours for us Americans, 5 hours is nothing. Yeah. Hey, Jen. I'm here, but my internet is iffy. So, what else is new, Jen? Seriously. So, what else is new? But I'm glad you're here. Kind of cruddy out there here, 40s and overcast. Yeah, I've had that conversation with Alex, because he lives in the UK, and I've always said, and I heard this somewhere. I didn't come up with this, but I heard it somewhere that the difference between the UK and the United States is the United States is a country where 100 years is a long time, and the UK is a country where 100 miles is a long way. And if you think about that, that's a very apt description because we're a very young nation. But for us, for those of you that don't live in the States, we're so big. A 5-hour trip, that's a road trip. That's a day trip for us. It would be unusual to take a 4, 5, 6 hour day trip, to somewhere, stay there for a little while, and then drive 4, 5, 6 hours back, and not think twice about it. I'm dying right now, and then dang bad choice of words right now. Right. Maddie says, trying to do my part. I tweeted on my main account tips on homeschooling since I was a homeschool mom. Yeah. My wife says, I come out your way once a year. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you might shout out me the next time you're out this way. We'll see what we can do. I can't guarantee I can, I might be working or whatever, but hey. Kyler says, I'm a couple 3 states west of you, Bloodway. Shoot. I know I can leave here and be in Texas overnight. So, by early morning. So, Michael Weiner says, just on the east side of the border. Yeah. I like my girls how I like my and easily spread. Oh, Shio. But yeah. Here in the States, if you live in the States, and we find it funny that other people are amazed that we drive like that, because it's just how it is here. It's a part of life. And 2, 3, 4, even 5 and 6 hours is not a considered a big drive, to go. So that's a day trip. Come visit DFW then. Yeah, I've never been to Dallas. I've been through the panhandle of Texas once on my way to California, but that was it. And that's how I know that I left here. It was on a 2:30 on a Saturday afternoon, and by 9 o'clock Sunday morning, I was in a rest stop in Texas, in the Texas Panhandle, um, taking a little bit of a nap because I drove all night. My old man went to trucking school in Indianapolis. Took him all day to get there. Yeah. Nothing. Gunfire says nothing to a 5 hour trip to Mima's for a birthday, then drive 5 hours back after a party. Smart parents make kids change into PJs before leaving out. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And and the dog is just begging me to take her out. Now I'm starting to get nervous. Maybe she does need to go out. And I don't have a guest today. Hang in there for just a minute, Precious. Hang in there. Tell you what, I'm gonna try to get this stream to 4 o'clock. Then I might have to end it because I don't. I've got to take the dog out, and I've got to go. I'm getting to the point where I've got to go, but I wanted to at least check in with everybody and see how it's going. Grandpa said, plus there is dad bragging rights when you can cut some time off the travel time. Yeah, yeah. Michael Weiner says, grab Jen. She'd come in. The first thing she said was her internet's acting up. So I doubt she'd be able to cover. And it is. It's okay. It's okay. And like I said, I'm still playing with the idea of maybe doing a game stream in a little bit. And so it'll give me time to set up for that and so forth. Because OBS does take a little bit of setup time. I'm not that fast at it yet because I've not used it that often. So, but yeah, I see you. We'll go out in a minute. No, get down, you big horse. Yeah. uh, but sorry, I was talking to the dog. She was trying to get up in my lap again, and I've got to pee a little bit. And yeah, Bioshock probably, Michael, probably Bioshock. And she's I don't need a 60-pound dog laying on my bladder right now. I would try it, but okay. Well, hang on just a minute. Let me send you. Of course, there's not that much of the stream to go, just about 35 minutes, but we'll see how this goes. Let me. Nope, nope, nope. There's Jen. All right, and her whistling walrus. And ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, Jen. You've been sent a link. Uh, Bioshock coming to Switch. Huh. Cool. Well, everything's shutting down. How about paving the fracking roads? Yeah, our roads are a mess. Now, generally they will get out there and get them fixed, but with all this going on, I don't know what's happening. But there are some, and which always happens in the spring. We have massive potholes. Some I call them basements. They're so big, and lots of the tire stores do a lot of business this time of year, and people hitting humongous chuck holes. Ezub, hello everyone. Uh, Always nice to hear Jen's voice. Yeah, yeah, I love having Jen on. But we'll see if she's able to make it in. Infectious laughter. Yeah, yeah, she does. Oh, there she is. Let's get her in the stream. And how you doing, Jen?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just laughing at myself because you'd
Laughing at
actually
yourself?
sent me the link sooner than I thought, and I misread it. It was
Yeah.
like backtracking, like, oh yeah, he said something about a walrus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember sending that to him. But I hate to do this to you just
Hmm?
as soon as you get in, but this dog is wanting out.
They do
And
what they want to do. It's all good.
yeah, so if you would talk to the chat long enough for me to take her out and then me to go to the bathroom real quick, so uh, I'll do it as quick as possible.
No worries.
Alrighty.
All right, guys, cross your fingers because I have had a few blips with the internet. Apparently, we're having I don't know. It's one of those things where my brothers talk to multiple operators with Shaw, and one guy is saying one thing, and another guy is saying another thing, and then the third guy's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna switch your modem over. We'll send you something on the 31st." My brother's like, "Pick one." Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on up here. I don't know about you guys, but between everybody streaming, everyone being bored, too many paranoid people, really does want Canada to be like, communist China. Um, yeah,
Okay, how we doing? Oh, did you get bounced?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It was
don't
funny.
know.
Like I was mid rant too, and I was like, "Oh wait," because I always watch your screen when I
Ah,
stream with you. You know, like just in case something happens, it usually shows me sooner.
all right. Uh, yeah. I went as fast as I can, and she did go while I was out there. So now I don't know if she'll show on camera, and it's not easy to adjust my camera. So I could. She wanted back in my lap, and I couldn't say no.
Aww.
So let's see. Precious, here, show the people.
Hello, hello,
She's my
puppers.
baby.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
She is. She's a sweetie. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'll
I've been
lay
doing
back.
that the last couple days, like posting cute pictures of pets. Because it's one of those things that cheers me up. So therefore, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cheer you up regardless of whether or not you want it.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll get like that, and she'll lay up on my chest because when I lay back, and and that's why she was doing it. She thinks I'm going to lay back, and yeah, she thinks she's a lap dog, and I'm pretty sure she probably weighs at least 60 pounds.
Yeah,
And
well,
yes, Jay Wolf, she is pretty. Yes, she is very pretty. What was that, Jen? Jen, are you still with us? Well, you're still in the hangout, so must be something wrong with your mic, maybe. And yes, Grill and Pirate Pete, she is a pit mix. She's pit and African Ridgeback. Um, Justin got her, Michael. Yeah, yeah. She keeps my legs warm, that's for sure. Yeah, she's very pretty, very pretty. I think so. And she's just got the sweetest personality. She's far more likely to pee all over herself than to bite you. To be honest, uh, so she's not all that aggressive at all. You back her in a corner. Now there's one thing she has. If she gets a bone, yeah, don't try to take that bone. She will nip you. But other than that, Grill and Pirate, he says, my buddy has a couple of Mastiff hounds, and his wife says he cannot have a third because that would break the no more than 400 pounds of dog in the living room. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I hear you. And I've had bigger dogs, but usually they're not laying in my lap. And she thinks that's if I sit down, she has to be in my lap. That's just what she thinks. And if I'm like before the stream, I took a nap and I closed the door because I left it open, but she come in and she wanted to fight while I was laying down. No, I don't want. I'm taking a nap. Go away. So I shut the door, and so she'll sit in my chair during that. And now she's back. There you are, boy. You're having problems, aren't you?
oh boy, it's been actually the last couple days. So yesterday, I would say 2/3 of the day was normal.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, like a couple, like as this progresses, as we're quarantined, it gets worse and worse. And I know part of it's probably bandwidth. Like I'm in a major city, so my internet really isn't bad. Like we pay quite a lot for what we get. And admittedly, I'm on the short end because my computer isn't as updated as my brother's. Like he doesn't have as much crap on his as I do because I use all the streaming stuff. So I mean, I'm probably using more, but not getting as much out of it as he is. but I've seen problems with everybody. Like there's not a single person in a, you know, regardless of where you are across Canada right now, who isn't dealing with similar problems. So I think it's a mixture of a lot of things, and Shaw's just not being honest about it and being like, hey, listen, 90% of the country is at home streaming shit.
Grill and Pirate Pete says she's protecting you from bears. Talking about the dog, Precious. Have you been attacked by bears? No, you're welcome. Right, exactly. She's doing her job. And she probably would. She would probably be protective of, you know, those that she would consider hers, her family, and whatnot. But other than that, she's just really not that aggressive. She's
dogs are weird that way, because a lot of the times if they're aggressive, they're going by your body motions. So if you're nervous about somebody, like somebody's making you feel like they're sketchy, or maybe you were having a little bit of, you want to go somewhere, you're walking your dog, you need to get to where you're going, you're feeling a little bit anxious of it, the dog's going to feel that and not know.
She feels very much at home here.
Yeah.
Very much at home in our house. I mean, within the first hour she was here, she was laying down taking a nap.
Yeah. I remember that from a couple of dogs that I've owned, but it was especially with my roommate's dog. So we lived in an area that was kind of sketch. And the thing is like, you know, and you know what I mean when you say, like, you know, from one person to the other, you don't always know when somebody's on something. Because some people are better at hiding it than others. The dog knew. Yeah. Like if you were doing something weird, he would literally make us cross the street. Like he would be like, nope, we're going over here.
But it is odd. I really can't figure it out. I mean, she is super extra special about me. Aww. And I don't know why. And she has been from the day after we got her out of the cage, after she calmed down, you know, she cooked it. I have a feeling that somebody misused her on that flight. And the people, when we went to pick her up at the airport dock, where we had to go pick her up, they thought so too. She's not acting right. She's acting very, very aggressive. And like I said, she actually bit me, you know, which I didn't get. I understood, you know, she didn't know me from Adam at that point. And me and Mama Minnie went to pick her up. And she's the same way about Mama Minnie. So that's the only thing I can think is because we're the ones that let her out of that cage.
And saved her from whatever scary person was.
Yeah. Even when I go to my daughter's house, where she actually lives, she's right with me 100% of the time. She's just, wow. Just,
you know, that
up my butt.
That could easily be a thing. Like, it's one of those things with a lot of airliners is they really don't check who's handling the animals, because it could be anybody. Like, yes, they have like the odd professional who's there to make sure that the animals are healthy, but there are some airlines that have like repeated horror stories of, you know. So it's good to double check that kind of stuff.
And that's a long flight from Hawaii to Indianapolis.
Were there any like stopovers or anything like that? Because that complicates it too, you know? Like,
I don't know. Indianapolis is, amazingly, being in the middle of the country, is an international port of call.
Yeah.
So there could be a direct flight, but I don't know. I know when my daughter and the family come later, they had to stop over in California, and then came on the rest of the way. But I don't know. Whatever, for whatever reason, she just loves the heck out of me. And I told my wife, maybe it's because she recognizes me as the alpha dog of the family, you know.
There's that, and I think that animals do kind of know when you're kind. Like it's the judge of character thing. Like I think animals, because I mean when you're a wild animal, even if you're a pet, there's a certain extent where you're still basing your life off of your instincts a lot more than you are like forethoughting what it is I'm going to do for the next 20 years. As a dog, you don't really do that. You know, a lot of animals, like it's always been that way with certain animals. Like, you know, some of them will freak off and just run away because their instincts are like, nope. And other animals, like, they kind of feel you out. They're like, I don't know, is this person gonna hurt me? And
well, my whole life, I've always had a way with dogs. Even dogs that did not know me, I've just had a way with them.
Okay.
There was I remember when I was in junior high, like 7th grade or something like that,
Mhm.
there was a German Shepherd that was just had a reputation for being vicious. And he was on
Aw.
the way to school. In fact, there was a shortcut you could take and you went right by his fence and he'd come to the fence and just go nuts, right?
Mhm.
And everybody was afraid of him. And I don't know what got me to do it, but whoever I was walking with, I said, I bet you I can go pet that dog. So I'll bet he'll eat your arm off. I said, I bet he won't. And I walked over to the fence and petted him.
Yeah.
No issue, no problem. I've just always had a way with dogs, for some reason. And like you said, they sense things just like children do.
Yeah.
Children can sense it, you know.
Like
I,
they'll sense that you're nervous, they'll sense, but with me, I always kind of viewed my personality, and I don't believe in furry shit, but if I were to paste my personality on an animal, I'm probably a golden retriever, like stupid and fluffy, and I love everybody. So when I see dogs, like I have to remind myself that my personality is legit like that, and I'm like that with dogs. So sometimes I meet dogs and I don't mean to get them riled up. It's because I'm playing with them.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
yeah.
I'm very much the same way with little kids. I've been like one time, I went and picked my dad up, took him to an appointment, and we were sitting out in the waiting room. And also out in the waiting room was a young couple with their little girl who was probably between 2 and 3. So, very young, very young. And I sat down and she smiled at me and I smiled back and immediately made a fast friend. She's coming over and playing with me and asking me what my name is and all kinds of stuff, giving me her toys, and all this stuff. And the parents are just amazed. She's not like that with anybody. Never. She's
Yeah.
never. I said, well, I have that effect on kids. She probably senses that Papa gene. I have
Yeah.
grandkids and she senses it, I don't know.
Yeah, I get
Hey, functional.
I get that a little bit of that caring personality from my dad too, and that's not to say that my mom isn't caring. It's just a completely different approach of it. But with my dad, and don't get me wrong, he's not a big fan of cats, but cats love him. He's more of a dog fan than he is a cat fan, but like all animals seem to gravitate to him. They're just like, oh, this guy he just really is good with animals.
I'm not much of a cat person. I don't hate them.
But they like you more than they should.
Yeah, I don't hate them. Like my son Jay Kid does. He just hates cats. He does. I don't hate them. They're just I like dogs more.
Yeah, but you'll admit there's the odd cat that wants to crawl in your lap that you're like, oh. I like animals with personality. Like it's across the board for that one with me. Like I think all animals have their own personality, and even in the in similar species they all have different personality. But I like that character with an animal. Like when you think your dog is playing a prank on you, he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He legit is. And like I love that about animals. Like this idea that they've been so dumb for such a long time, and yes they are, but that they're so dumb that you can't form a relationship of communication with them is just, I've never believed that.
Yeah.
Not once in my life.
I'll tell you what though, this one is a heater. Oh my gosh, I'm roasting. She was sleeping with me overnight and I had to kick the covers off because good God, was laying across my legs in the crook of my legs, because I sleep on my side. I'm like, you're burning me up, dog. Oh, because we're in that time of year where the furnace, it's not cold enough for the furnace to run, but it's not really warm enough to run the air yet. So it gets a little warm.
Yeah. We aren't quite there yet. Like and this is the season of Canada where we kind of switch turns on who's doing Christmas at the moment, because between Ontario and where I am right now, every time they're -8, we're like +8, and vice versa.
Yeah, and I see others in the chat are they're at least understanding what I'm trying to say. I don't hate cats. I just like dogs more. I have had cats growing up. I had some really good cats and I've loved them. I prefer dogs if I'm going to have a pet.
It's a personality thing too. Like people forget that, like I said, I like personalities across the board, but like some people prefer the personality of a dog because dogs come across as more friendly towards majority. Like it's either, well, I say that, but some dogs are more, I'm friendly towards my boss and nobody else. And cats are like that. They're more
yeah. And it doesn't help that my wife is allergic to cats too, so
it doesn't
wouldn't
hurt
do me to have any.
No.
Yeah.
I always liked a particular breed of cats though. They called me a bar saying it. This Russian temple, and they're massive and dog personality.
I think we're losing you, Jen. I think we're losing you again. Type F for respect for Jen's internet. Poor Jen. In and out, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a consideration. Sorry, shouldn't swear. Yeah. Oh, sorry for you, Jen. I know how that can be. Are you back? Heard something there for a second. Maybe not. Nope, she dropped. Okay. Well, we're almost to the end of the stream anyway. And so, but yeah. Whew, you really are roasting me, precious. Oh my gosh, dog. Trudeau gave our internet away to China. Functional. I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Her internet is less functional than functional. Oh, Shio, that was bad. That was really bad, even for you. Oh my gosh, we're gonna call you Jen Yo-Yo.
I know, right? I'm saying no to the stock tax, Trudeau. Yeah, that's the other thing he's done up here. He's decided that he's still gonna follow through with doubling our carbon tax, despite
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're gonna give you guys money. I mean, this isn't gonna go to everybody. Alberta's probably pretty much resigned itself to not seeing a scrap of anything and being thrown under the bus again. And he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw you guys money. We'll be okay. And then on April, they're gonna tax it all back.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about dogs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking at the clock, and our new hours at work is we close at 5 every day. And so I'm pretty much in the safe zone of not getting called in all day long. Every time I get an alert, I think, oh God, it's work calling. Don't let it be work. I don't want to go in today. I want to be off. Because I'm going to have to work extra hard tomorrow to put that truck away by my freaking self, which is so stupid. Anyway, today is Purple Day. Surprised I have not seen a bunch of Prince posts today. Yeah. Why is it Purple Day? Is it just National Purple Day or something? I don't understand. I didn't know callers had their own day.
Yeah, that one's new. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, just party like it's 1999. Yeah. But I mean, I like purple. National Purple Day. Huh. I didn't know they had their own day, but there you go. Now I know. Everything has its own day. Probably a National Pothole Day or something. I don't know. If we do, we've got some potholes around here that would absolutely swallow your car.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wife had to go today to get a tire fixed, not because of a pothole. She picked up a nail. One of us picked up a nail on it. But yeah, the tire companies this time of year do a big business on fixing tires and rims. I heard National Pot Roast Day. Hey, I'd be down for that. That's one of my favorite things in the world to eat, pot roast. Yes,
for
sir.
us, this is the time of year where it's kind of more wind chill replacement than that, because our streets, we more often than not use the little stones for the ice.
Okay, I'm being informed that it's Epilepsy Awareness Day and their color is purple. Okay, well then
Oh.
that makes sense. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
But what if the color purple sets off your epilepsy?
I don't know. My mother was epileptic, you know, so
Sorry.
I don't know. You had to be careful around her. I mean, sometimes even flashing traffic lights would set her off. And she eventually had to give up driving at a very young age because of stuff like that. They would throw her into grand mal seizures. And yeah, and that was never fun. As long as it's not a flashing purple. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I miss my mother's cooking. You and me both, Michael. You and me both. My mom was a heck of a cook. One heck of a cook. And she could cook up a storm. But she had to give up cooking there for several years before the end, because she just wasn't physically up to it. But she would try. I'd come over and hear this woman could barely even get up out of bed, and I'd come in the door. Want me to make you something to eat? No, mom. No, mom. You relax. I got this. I know where the fridge is. I can get something to eat if I want it. You sit down. Well,
You also come across as one of those dudes who was always skinny growing up. Like my brother
That
likes
was me.
to tease. Yeah, my brother likes to tease my mother for that, because he had 3 friends who were like that. And sure enough, every time they would come over, she'd be like, listen, if you need to sit down and have something to eat, I'm more than happy to make you guys some soup or some sandwiches, or, you know, she'd just start cooking for his friends all the time. And it was a thing that, like, they had favorite dishes that they would specifically try to come over for, like lasagna night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She also says it's National Nougat Day and National Spinach Day as well. 2 things that I like. Not necessarily together, but yeah, 2 things that I like. Kyle says, me too, my Weinerbaum. I miss my mama every day. Yeah, my mom's been gone now for 5 years, and there's still days I get up in the morning, and before my mind is fully awake, I think, I should call mom and tell her about this or tell her about that. And then it, like, well, that would be a real long distance call, wouldn't it? But yeah, I still have those days. Yeah, I miss mom. Miss mom a lot. I was a mama's boy, and I will absolutely admit it. I'm not ashamed of it. My mom was my best friend. And I take after her personality much more than I do dad's. I got a little of dad's, but by and large, my personality is more like my mother's than my dad's. Dad's the kind of person that will hold stuff in until he can't anymore, and then he blows like Mount Vesuvius. He'll act like everything's okay until it just builds up until he'll just explode on everybody around you, and then everybody scatters. Like, get the heck away from Dad. Shio says, when was my birthday? It was Sunday, Shio. It was Sunday. Turned 60. I don't feel any older. Yeah, it was Sunday, and it was nice and quiet, which is exactly what I wanted. My kids called me, and well, Jake had hit me up on Twitter because he didn't have a phone, but yeah. Functional says, happy belated 60, Pebble. Thank you very much. And I think that maybe we've lost Jen, unless she's there. Are you there, Jen? Yeah, Mike wants to play BioShock. Yeah, I did have a BioShock stream. I was testing OBS to see what it would handle, and played some BioShock and on my birthday. Thinking of doing so today. Jen, if you're out there in the chat, I'm getting ready to shut the stream down anyway. So if you don't want to come back, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But if you do, I'll bring you back in. There's only a couple of minutes left. So Got 21 years on you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. 60 doesn't feel any older than 59 did. None whatsoever. It just sounds older to say. For some reason, 60 does sound older than, and it is older by a year, but it just sounds so much older than saying 59. It's got that old sound to it. Oh my God, 60. Good news is I've got a little over 5 years to go, and I can retire with full benefits. So I'm looking forward to that. Because I'll be 49 come August. Well, you're just about to that 50 mark. Yeah, and it is a milestone, Michael. Yeah, it is a milestone. But yeah, yay for retirement. Exactly. Sinkle says that's how I feel being in my 30s. I don't feel that much older. Yeah. Grilling pirate pieces. I'm at that age where I have to do the math. Am I 51, 52, 53? Well, see, mine's easy to keep track of because I was born on a decade. I was born in 1960. So it's easy to do the math. She also shared your national days above. March 22nd, National Bavarian Crepes Day, National Goof Off Day. Well, that would fit. National West Virginia Day. Yeah, Goof Off would absolutely fit. Yes, we do like easy math. We do. When I go to work, one of the things I have to do at the very beginning before I can even start my shift, Jen says, Trudeau, don't hurt me no more. Yeah. And she's back. Yeah, for the last couple of minutes anyway.
I was at least long enough to say goodbye just in case I get cut
Well,
off.
sure. Was sure. Graduated in 80. Grilling Pirate says born in 68, but graduated in 86. Yeah, I was born in 60 and graduated in 78. Yeah. Long time ago. 33 this year. I have to do the math whenever someone asks to. Yeah, so you're about the same age, Shio, as Mama Minnie. And my youngest will be turning 30 this September. So all my kids will be in their 30s, and Jay Kid's not far from being in his 40s. So yeah, they're all getting older on me. Did we lose you again, Jen?
Nope, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Which is good because, like, anything.
I'm getting gun shy now. Anytime it gets quiet on your end, I'm like, oh, she's gone again. Yeah, but anyway, we're at the end of the stream, and so this is the part where I say thank all of you for coming out, and thanks for your likes and your shares and spending part of your lockdown with me. There's so many other things you could do except spending it with me, and you choose to come here, and don't think I don't notice and don't appreciate it, because I do. I'm not real sure if I'm going to do the BioShock stream in a little bit. I'm going to get me something to eat and try to get this dog off my lap and some other things. But if I feel up to it here in a little while, I will, because I did enjoy it. I enjoyed that so much. It was something different for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. Playing that for you all. But if you like that kind of thing, be on the watch for it. I'll try to announce it on Twitter. Am I coming on to Alex's Twitch? I don't know, Michael. It depends on how I feel. I'm not a big fan of Twitch.
It's a different platform. Like it's not. I don't have a problem watching people on it. It's just when I've tried to stream on it, it was just not quite the same. It's amazing when DLive and Twitch, who are sister companies, or at least they used to be back when they were created, they're completely different in terms of how they function.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that Alex is even back there, because it wasn't 6 months ago he was complaining about Twitch and saying how much he hated it and was never going back to it. So I don't know. I don't know. I've actually got a Twitch account, but I haven't logged into it for well over a year, probably. Probably close to 2 years. I'm just not a fan. But hey, some people like it, and whatever. You do you. But thank you for coming on and spelling me so I could take the dog outside, Jen.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad I could at least do a little bit of that. Like, this is kind of funny, and I wasn't sure. I was like, cross the fingers and hope, and now I got that song stuck in my head, though.
Yeah.
Turtle, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
anything you want to shout out while you're here?
So for the most part, I haven't really got any set schedule for my streams. Like, for the most part, I have been doing a few more just because I figured people are kind of bored, and it gives people an outlet to just beak about things that we can't fix. But I've been on the Minions a couple times. I joined Peter Almond a couple times, BG a couple times. So yeah, I'm just in and around.
Yeah. As for me, I've been tinkering with the 25th. 25th. Well, it's because there's 25 episodes. I'm trying to work on. I haven't recorded an episode of Redneck Track, but I am trying to work on a best of the first 25 episodes, the funniest moments, and it's going to take a while. Probably won't be out by this weekend. That's a lot of work going through 25 episodes that range, an average of 40 minutes each. So, but I'm working on it. So be on the lookout for that. And I should be able to stream Saturday. I am scheduled off, but the way things are going, people, they could call me in any minute, which they've done. So, I ain't promised it.
And at the same time, you can't really say no, because given what things are going on, I'd take every shift you can.
Well, yeah. And especially now during the duration of this virus thing, they're paying us all an extra $1 on the hour. So,
that's nice. That's good.
Yeah. So it's hazard pay is what it is. It's hazard pay, plain and simple. But thanks everybody for coming out and hanging with us. And we actually made a 2-hour stream. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to there for a while, but we did it. Yay. Thanks to Jim. But we are at the end of it. So as always, get out of my yard.
Who wants to make bets that now that I've done